Hi, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the virtual one-to-one support. So everybody's virtual one-to-one support is going to be a little bit different depending on the agency that I have you connected with. Some of you are going to have connections immediately. Some of you it may take a little bit longer, but you will eventually have one person to work with in a one-to-one capacity. So you're going to be doing this online, and you're going to be doing this with Microsoft Teams. So you're set up with Teams to do your virtual rec night in your group. So it's going to be the same with one-to-one. So I've got some videos in this section that are going to be about how to send an invite. So you are going to need to send an invite to your individual every time you meet. So the one-to-one support. Some of the areas that we have you connected with is with the Niagara College CIC program. That's Cooperative Integrated Learning Program. So that's individuals that are in college and they're working on job skills. So they are a little bit isolated right now, and we know that they can use some support. The other area is the Learning Disabilities Association, and you I think you had a guest speaker, Emily, that came into your class with Anne-Marie. So that's one area. The other is Big Brothers. We have two individuals that will be there. So the learning disabilities in the Big Brothers, you're going to go with what they're set up for you. So they'll have initial training, and they'll be very specific of what your goals are and what you're doing with your individual. Now, the individuals working with CIC or adults in the residential setting, you're going to work with those individuals in really developing one goal. So you're going to use your person-centered approach that they talked about in St. Catherine's ACL, the quality and leadership training. Also in that section, I have the SMART goals. So you're going to be using those to develop a goal that's attainable within that amount of time. So think of something easy, something fun. It really could be anything. You have to get to know the individual you're working with first. So you're going to build a relationship with them. And that may be a little tougher online, so you're going to have to get creative. But really think of, take a look at Pinterest. If you're not on Pinterest already in this field, get on Pinterest. They have so many different ideas and different things. If you look up kind of that getting to know someone, there's those like 50 questions you could ask someone. So think of those that you're going to have questions back and forth. You're also going to need in building a relationship. You spoke about, I know, in Lori Moran's class and some of the others. I know Mary talks about it a lot, that is the foundation of our field, is our relationships and therapeutic rapport. You want to make sure that it's appropriate subjects, that you're not getting into too much detail of your life. You shouldn't be divulging really personal things with that individual. So don't tell them about your dating life or any of your problems. That's not your role. So your role is to get to know them, but getting to know them is also sharing a bit. So I always like to think of is I'll share things that if it came back at me and it's not too personal that I wouldn't be offended, then I'm okay to share that. So for example, I'll talk about my kids. You're probably going to see my kids in the weekly announcements. And if for some reason an individual or a client got upset with me and started saying nasty things about my kids, I know objectively I can set that aside. And I know to not take it personally, so that's why I'm okay with sharing about my kids. But I'm not going to share too much detail about my kids if you're going to notice. You're not going to know any problems that they're having or into any intimate things or some struggles that as a parent I'm having. That's not appropriate for me to share with you. But you'll see my kids. You'll probably see Justin on the trampoline at some point. So things like that. You're also going to see my pets, because that's something I'm comfortable sharing with, and that's a nice jumping off point. So if you've got an animal, an individual you're talking about says, oh, I really love cats, then if you've got a cat, bring that cat on and have a discussion about that, or ask them if they have a pet, getting to know them, getting to know those interests. So some of the things that you will be working on, some goals that would be great, is I know some of the individuals are very isolated right now, and with isolation, we know that kind of there's that degree of maybe depression or some of those things coming into play. So getting active, we know, is one of the things that can really help with that. So it could be a goal of the person going for a walk once a day, or it could be they want to learn to cook. Get online with them, that you're on together and you've got all your ingredients set up and you're showing them how to make a simple meal and they're doing it at the same time. So have fun with it. It could be about something related to their job. So it could be job seeking. So it could be how to write a professional email. Could be, you know what, my resume I'm really struggling with. So have that, you're working on their resume. So you want to think when you're going through the SMART goals, the students in the program and the individuals you're working with will be exposed to SMART goals because they've, as we know this field and you're going to learn in your training, the person-centered approach uses SMART goals. But to get someone engaged in really working with those SMART goals, you want to be implicit, meaning you don't want to be like, okay, we're on step 1, we're going to develop goals. You want to just have it like a natural conversation that they don't even know that you're kind of going through that system with them. So when you think about that, going over the SMART goals and going over that training, you're going to set some yourself just so you get used to it. Because as we know with learning, it's always good for us to do it first before we do it with somebody else. So get comfortable with those and think of different ways that you can slip it in, that you are kind of working on a goal, but they don't really know fully that you've got it all instructed out. So those are some tips about building relationships. Part of the accountability for this assignment is going to be, you're going to do weekly journal entries for me. So you're going to talk about what worked, what didn't work, maybe where you're struggling. And remember, your success of this is not based on the individual succeeding, because this is a very short amount of time. And as you'll notice with goals, it takes time. So this could be a jumping point for someone. You could be inspiring them. So please don't be concerned if you're not really getting anywhere. The basis of what I want you to learn from this is, number 1, I really want you to learn the importance of building a relationship. So that can be quite difficult if you've got an individual that is a bit shy and hard to get out of their shell. Or you could have an individual that is a chatty Cathy and you can't get a word in edgewise. So you're going to work with you'll have a full spectrum here. Not sure who you'll get, but everybody's really experience is going to be completely different because every person you work with is going to be different. So this is the start of getting those tools in your toolbox. So like I said, take a look at Pinterest. You may even find part of building relationship is doing something with the person. So it could be they, right off the bat, they like music. Well, start playing some music together. Like, they have a little dance party going, get a dance party going. Anything positive you can. And I can guarantee through this experience, every individual that you guys are going to be working with, you're going to be making a difference. Especially right now with COVID. I know you're probably feeling very isolated. The individuals that we work with sometimes do not have a big social network. So their social network is school, is going to places that are set up that they're not able to. So right off the bat, you really are going to be making a difference. So I really hope you enjoy the experience. Also remember, if you're struggling with anything, reach out to me. Don't wait. You know, you can, if email's fine, but if you need a face-to-face, meaning video, that's all we have, I'm happy to set up a meeting with you on Teams. You are not alone in this, but have a great time and know that really this is the start of your career where you are impacting someone. And this is why we do what we do in this program. So I hope you enjoy, and remember, reach out if you need anything. Thanks.